Hi everyone, I'm Ms. Wintersheimer, and tonight you get to hear an informational book called What If You Had an Animal Tongue? Have you ever thought about that? Might be a little strange. But as I'm reading, I want you to think about the different tongues we all have and what makes them useful. What if you had an animal tongue? What if one day when you woke up, you felt a little bit strange and you discovered that the tongue in your mouth was now very different? What if overnight a wild animal's tongue had taken its place? A Komodo dragon sticks out its long yellow tongue to snag air samples. Pressing its tongue to a special sensor on the roof of its mouth lets it smell and taste what it collected. It's how the dragon locates the meat it eats, such as deer, pig, or water buffalo, which it senses as far as 5 miles away. And here's a fact on the bottom. A Komodo dragon's tongue tip is forked to sense if the smell and taste is stronger to the left or to the right. So now you get to imagine, if you had a Komodo dragon's tongue, you'd never miss out on freshly baked cookies. Here we have a tube-lipped nectar bat. A tube-lipped nectar bat's tongue is 1.5 times longer than its body, so long that it's attached inside its rib cage instead of its mouth. Stretched out, its tongue is long enough to feed on the sweet nectar in the bottom of tubular flowers that are too long for short-tongued bats to reach. And here's the fun fact at the bottom. A tube-lipped nectar bat's tongue has a prickly covering of hair-like bristles, perfect for trapping nectar drops and holding them all the way to its mouth. Can you imagine having that kind of a tongue? Well, if you had a tube-lipped nectar bat's tongue, you'd never have to pause the movie. Ooh, next we have a tiger. A tiger's tongue is sandpapery rough with backward-facing spines that flex and turn with each lick. These comb fuzzy snarls and knots from its fur. Spending as much as a quarter of its waking time licking keeps the tiger one well-groomed big cat. The fact for the tiger is a tiger's tongue spines are cone-shaped and curved backward toward its throat, just right for picking up a drink one lick at a time. So here's kind of a funny picture. If you had a tiger's tongue, you'd be a world-famous hairstylist. Next, we have a web-toed salamander. A web-toed salamander's tongue shoots out of its mouth so fast it can do 10 tongue punches in the time it takes a human to blink once. Scientists believe muscles wrapped around the salamander's tongue are what power this action, like pulling a rubber band so far it snaps. Pow! The fact is, when fully extended, a web-toed salamander's tongue is about half its body length, minus the tail. Oh man, look at this. If you had a web-toed salamander's tongue, you'd be the one to bust open the party's piñata, even without the bat. The next one is okapi. An okapi's tongue is very handy. At meal times, its tongue wraps around and pulls in mouthfuls of leaves, fruit, or twigs. At bath time, its tongue licks its body clean, even its eyes and big ears. The fact is, an okapi's tongue is purplish black. Scientists believe this color protects the tongue from getting sunburned. So if you had a tongue like an okapi, you could safely pick apples from the tree's highest branches. Wow, I know we could go on and on and on with all these different tongues. And as you can see, tongues are used for many different purposes. So what I'd like you to do for a few minutes, and then you can even extend this activity into the future, is discuss with your family which tongue you would like to try for just a day, and then tell them why you chose that tongue. Also, the book didn't tell us about all animals that you know of, and I bet you're thinking about an animal right now. So I think it would be fun to go online with your parents and read about other animals' tongues. Well, guys, thanks for tuning in. And I hope you enjoyed this book as much as I did.